Good afternoon
Let
po,
me go.
sir.
Good afternoon. We'll start. So just share my screen. My screen. Okay. So I'm using another unit here. I'm just going to check if I have Java. Okay. Okay. So we will uh, we will talk about array lists, right? If I remember right, uh, yeah, I requested you guys to remind me, no? Although I remember it last meeting. Okay, so we'll talk about array lists, no? First. And, uh, hmm, I'm just going to call it R list, okay? Because the array list itself has what's this? It's a class. Okay. Okay. So in the array list, we have to import, no? Import java.util.array list. Okay. So that's how we import or extend the capability of Java. No? So, okay. So, forgive me, class. I was in the middle of something earlier. No? So, my, my mind is still not focused on. Anyway, okay. Now, you remember arrays, right? Right. And of course, I have announced on the GC of the class reps that I might give a long quiz, no? With regards to arrays. Excuse me. However, I've what's this? I'm going to wait till I've discussed it with the other two classes, no, before I let's schedule it. No? Okay. So that's the problem on Friday. I don't know if I can meet them. So I'll request reschedule. No? Okay. Just in case you guys are available on Saturday for the exam. So let's say I'm going to set the exam. Of course, late in the evening or late evening. No? Okay. So most possibly, I'm going to discuss it with the class reps, no? So they can communicate with you. But tentatively, it will be on. I'll give 2 hours, no, for you to solve it. No? It's just an exam for with regards to arrays, no? Nothing more. Okay. Uh, let's say friends. Okay. Okay. Now, of course, no, as I have told you, no, inside there's a diamond. This is called a diamond symbol. This is how we declare an array list. Declare and initialize array list. Okay. Now, with regards to this one, okay, you put inside the wrapper class. Okay. So let's say this one, I'm going to go with strings. Okay. So that's the wrapper class for the string. And of course, it will be stored in friends. Okay. And then the new, we will discuss this one. For now, I hope you will not be confused. But this entire statement is the declaration of an array list. So that's it. If we talk about array, no? So usually what we will do is, okay, um, friends, let's say classmates. No? Okay. So normally you populate this one. No? Okay. So let's say which, one more. Okay. Mitch and let's say Steven. Yeah? Okay. So that's it. No? This is how we declare arrays. No? Okay. And in an array list is how we do it. No? Okay. Or you use the new and then the number of elements. No? However, when we declare and initialize an array, that's it. No? We cannot change it. No? However, in an array list, what we can do is, of course, we want to add, no? uh, let's say, I can't think of any. No? So if I can think of any, I'll just resort with my default friends. No? If you have any questions, please do so. No? This is how we add no? Elements in an array list. No? Okay. And of course, the last one, okay. Also, we can do this. So let's say, just going to comment this out. Forgot. And this one is, I forgot there. Japanese names. Oh well. So if you want, you can have the class array, no? And then I think, yeah. If you want to do this, no? Okay. But here is the conventional part. No? And then if we print this one, I'm going to change this. Okay. Then let's change it later. And then, okay. So let's compile it. Okay. Then let's run it. Wait.
Sir, wala pong semicolon.
Power. Notepad. Where?
Yung pag-run nyo po nung class sa terminal.
Doesn't need a semicolon. Let's compile it again. Okay. Nabulunan. As you can see, with regards to printing out, what do you think happened here? Okay, when we printed out the classmates, something happened. But when we printed out, so again, classmates is traditional array. Okay, and of course, the friends is of course an array list. Okay, so what happened?
Sir?
Yes, go ahead.
One of the reasons, sir, actually that's the main reason kung bakit print nung first array. Actually, yung print ng first array is the address of the array itself. So meaning, hindi niya piniprint yung mismong value or yung element ng array. So kaya kasi reference type nga siya. So in order to solve that, kailangan natin mag-toString.
Correct. Correct.
Yun po.
Correct. That's absolutely correct. Remember what we have discussed with regards to wrapper classes or reference. Okay, they just refer to the address, pointing out to the variable, the value. Sorry. Okay, remember the Excel worksheet that I did, class? Did you? Of course, do you remember that, Lerwin, right? Okay. While if we declare it as a primitive, okay, what it will do is of course print out the exact value. Okay, so anyway, the toString, yes, correct. What we can do is of course you can make a loop or use the toString method. But we're not into methods yet. That's why later on, okay. Although I've used something, this is how we create. This is how we create an object based from a class. The array list is a class. However, there's a diamond. No? So normally when we create an object, there's no diamond. No? Okay, just the class name. And in array list, now you have to specify here the diamond symbol so that um, the you have to specify what data type, no? Okay, because the array list is a generic class, no? So it accepts only wrapper classes, no? So you have to define what is the data type for that, no? Okay, so you cannot specify, let's say, of course, let's try out something, no? So that you will know. We cannot use a primitive, no? Okay. Okay. So let's just try this out and then compile it. Okay. So as you can see, it only accepts wrapper classes. Okay. I'll just comment this out. Okay. So what else? So let's say, for example, I want to retrieve, of course, the address is the same. How to get the specified, let's say I'm going to print out Mark. Okay. It's the same as an array, okay, with regards to address. However, in the address, now we have to specify a bracket. Remember, this is already an object. So all we have to do is use the method get. I have to specify a method. So this is a method. Okay. So it's like a function in C. And then we specify the address. So let's say I want to print out Mark. So this is going to be 1. Okay. 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 Let's run it again. Okay. So this prints out Mark. Okay. And let's say, for example, just me, I just thought of my client. So let's say I'm going to change Koji. Excuse me. And then in changing or modifying an element in the array, you have to specify the address. So I'm going to change Koji to Big Bird. And then let's print it out. Okay. Okay. So this changes Koji to Bigfoot, the set method. Okay. Okay. What else? Let's say, for example, okay. Of course, this one doesn't belong to the group. No? Okay. We want to remove it. No? Okay. So what we will do is, of course,
That remove po.
yes, correct. So it's either you specify the name itself or specify the index, which is number. Let's say this one. Okay. So it's either you do this So any questions with regards to, any questions with regards to array list? Now in array list, we can, of course, no, specify any data, no, any data type that is in the wrapper class. Okay. So any questions, class, before we proceed? So you know that you know already, no? Or you can have an idea that array lists are much flexible than arrays. No? Whatever the limitations of arrays, no? With regards to let's say declaring and initializing the number of elements. No? In an array list, no, it's dynamic. However, the same rule applies, no, with regards to data type. No? You cannot mix and match data types inside an array list. No? Okay. I'm not other programming languages. No, you can. No? Okay. Especially especially the what's this interpreted programming languages. No? But in Java, of course, no, we have to follow, and I can understand no, why. No? Okay. But if you want to create a dynamic array, no, this is what you will do. No? Okay, and it's of course easier. Okay. Any questions, class, before we proceed with the next topic?
Sir?
Yes. Go ahead.
Dun sir sa may array list string, kasi I saw some syntaxes na nilalagyan din po ng string yung array list after the new. Sa may
Yeah.
diamond.
Yeah, this one.
Hindi sir, yung sa may diamond po. Sa loob po niya. Kung ano po yung dineclare dun sa
Yeah,
left,
yeah.
yun din.
That's the old one. When I was teaching Java before, no, I do this also. You can do that, but in the newer compiler, it's not anymore. You can do it, but in the newer compiler, doesn't need it. No. Lerwin was mentioning with regards to declaration of an array list. No, that was is using the older compiler. No? Okay. So if you want, you can also do that. No? This one, Darwin.
Yes po, sir. Kung ano po yung nasa kanan, yun di po yung nasa
Yeah.
kaliwa.
Yeah. And I think it will be accepted also. No? Of course, it will be accepted. R list. Sorry. No problem. Okay. And in newer compilers, the second data, the second date, the data type and the second diam is optional. Okay. So you can do this or you can do this. It's up to you. No problem. Any more questions, class? Oh, how about the others? How about the others? I'll show you the. Okay. Okay. What's the next topic for on our discussion? Are we going to proceed with the classes and objects already? Input. Okay. Mm, loops. I think we already. Okay. Class for a while. For a while. Okay, class. Okay, class, can you hear me? Medyo na hugot yung mic eh.
Apo sir, rinig ka po.
Okay, so let's continue. No? That's a problem in the office. No? I get called sometimes. So anyway, I apologize. No? Loops and selection statements. No? I'll just discuss it in
Sir?
yes.
Sorry sir, yung sinabi ko po kanina na-discuss na po pala yun.
Yeah,
Yung loops
the
at saka
loops.
if statement.
Did I talk about if statement or not yet? Just a review or not yet? Did I do that? No? The if statement?
Not yet, sir. Yung
Not yet.
loops lang po, yung for
Loops lang po pala.
Okay.
I remember sir, yung last loop natin is yung sa for each.
Yeah, that's the newer one. No? Well, with regards to the if statement, right, it's the same as on it's the same on what you have learned in C, no? Okay. So this is the simple if statement, no? So if the condition is true, then it will execute the statements inside the code block, no? Okay. Another form of the if statement is of course, is of course the if else condition. Okay. So okay. Statements. Okay. So another form of the if statement is the if else. No? So again, if the condition is true, then the statements inside the code block is executed. Okay. Otherwise, the else. If it is false, then the statements inside this code block will be executed. Okay. Another form of the if else, the if statement is the if else. So if condition one, and then else if condition two, else if condition three, and then so on until you reach the else. Okay. And normally, the last statement, this one is what? So, sorry. I'm just going to copy this one. No? So, if the condition here is true, no? The first condition is true, then execute the statements inside this code block. Else, another condition, if the condition 2 is true, then execute this one. Else if, condition 3, and so on. And this one is what? It's maybe the otherwise. No? Okay. If all conditions fail, then execute this one. This is the catch-all. Okay. So let's say you forgot something in this condition. There are several conditions. Then you can use a catch-all statement. Okay. And another type is, of course, the switch. Okay. I rarely use this one. Case. Case. This is the otherwise. So let's say x1, x2, x3. Okay, because it can be a string, can be a number. Nah? Okay, and then of course, don't forget to okay. You have to put in what?
Break, sir.
Yes. If you don't put a break, all the other cases will be executed. No? Okay. Of course, don't overdo it. No, you don't put break inside this one. No? You can, but okay. The ones who will read it will, of course, no, will get a kick out of it. No? You include that one also. Okay. So those are the selection statements and the loops. No? Okay. I don't need to. Do I need to elaborate on this one, class? Do I need to give detailed examples or no more?
For me po, sir, hindi na po need kasi it's extremely similar sa if statement.
Yes, of course. Yeah. But if you want, okay, I can do examples if you want. No? Okay. So anyway, later on, yeah, you can think about it, no, if you want an example or not. But anyway, we will use these statements from time to time with regards to program examples. No? Okay, let's proceed with inputs. No? Um, okay. Uh, data input. That's all. Okay, so the one that we will import is of course the java.util.scanner, the scanner class. No? Okay. I always for I am always forgetting about the GUI. No? So okay. Okay. And then, of course, I'm going to explain it, of course. Okay. What I can do is, of course, create an array. No? Mhm. Scanner. And then we create an array list. Let's say, okay, nothing. Okay. And then what I can do is, of course, mhm. Let's see if it will accept a null value. No? Okay. Int. Or I'm just going to specify int. Okay. And then or here. Enter a name or to enter a name or and to finish. Okay. And then what I will do is, of course, okay. Okay. And then I'm just going to check it if so this is just a simple input statement. No? If str input val not equal to, of course, end. let's use a, okay, I'll just use this first, and then there's another method. No? We can use a method. Okay. And then we're just going to add it in the array. No? And ah, sorry. This should be classmates. Okay. So this is just a crude data entry program. Okay, let's compile it. What was if, okay. As I have thought. Okay, so let's run it. Okay, so enter a name. So Steve, Mark, Big Bird, Little John. I'm going to change the set of names. For now, please forgive me. And then end. Ah, what happened here? It should end. It's still accepting.
Maybe try nyo, sir, lagyan ng break.
Yeah, I can do that, but it's not elegant. Not equals method. Ah, okay. Correct. This is more acceptable. Yeah, we can put a break. No? However, no. So let's see if this is more accurate. No? Okay. I can put a space here if you want. No? Okay. So it can be more readable. Okay. So let's compile it again. To terminate the program, all you have to do is Control C. No? In which case, this is already an endless loop. No? Okay. Okay. I think that's it. You can do an end. Let's see what happens. Okay. I can put a with regards to this one, this is more accurate, no? Okay. I can understand what Lerwin has said, no? However, it's not going to be, I want it elegant. Do you understand, class? Okay, Lerwin, tama ba? Lerwin, ikaw yan, ha?
Yes po, sir.
Hmm. What Lerwin is saying that if I'm going to put an additional dot input, this one, then we can execute. Ganito ba, Lerwin?
Yes po, sir.
Hmm.
Nasa loob po ng if statement yung break habang naglo-loop.
Yeah, it's inside the loop. Or what do you want? Where do you want to put it?
Sakto lang po, sir.
Okay. The problem, can you understand why I'm referring to this as inelegant? Okay. This one, in your C, this one is called what? Inside the while. It's not going to be a fix. You cannot use a, what's this? A for loop. Because, of course, no, we don't know how many times we will enter data. No? If you want to have it inside a for loop, then it's going to be fixed. No? However, we're not sure if we're just going to enter 3 or 4 or 5. No? Okay, that's why we need this one. And what is this called, class? This one. Usually, this condition is inside a while or a do-while loop. What is this called? Particularly this one. You can have any value with regards to this one. No? But I can make it end or exit. But of course, you can make any value if you want. And what is this value called? Maybe you have forgotten your C when you were when your professor was discussing loops, no? Particularly while and do while loops. No? Anyone? What is that called? Christine, are you there? Cara?
Sir, I have no idea po.
No idea. No problem. So you're either you forgot, you were absent, or the heaven forbid, no? It was not discussed to you.
Sir, yung nag-a-ask po yun ng true or false?
The value itself, what is that called? It can be any value as long as it is a value to terminate a loop. I'm going to display the program again. So it can be any value. It can be
Condition,
numeric.
sir.
Yeah, it's inside a condition, of course. No? It can be any value, any data type. It can be a number. It can be a string. Huh? So what is that value called?
So you're referring to the return type, sir?
No, we're not returning anything. We're not yet into methods, no? Having to return something, no? No. This is just to terminate a loop.
A boolean, sir?
Ray, it's not a null. No? Null is nothing. Okay. Look that up in Google.
That is the first time I heard that word, sir, in programming.
Okay. Can you look that up in Google so that you will know already? Can you define what a sentinel value is? I'll look it up for you.
Oh, sir. So yung sentinel value po, it's a general way that serves as a condition of termination. Kasi di ba pag break, para lang po yun sa loop.
Correct.
Pero ang sentinel value, it's a condition of termination. Pero madalas ginagamit siya in loop or recursive algorithm.
Just what I have said, no? In an easier fashion. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, that's it. Now, there's a difference between the next and a next line. Now, we can use a, what's this? I'm just going to remark this one. Okay, input dot next. So this one is of type string. No? Both are type string. What's the difference between the next and next line? The next, of course, only accepts one word. This only accepts one word. So remember the output earlier, no? This one will be accepted, no? Because the next line, of course, next line only accepts the entire string, whether it has, especially if it has spaces, no? Okay? It will proceed to the next input once you press enter. That's the difference. You get it, class? The next only accepts a word. Okay? It does not accept, let's say, you entered your name but with spaces, it will not accept it. No? Only the first word. That's the difference. So if you're sure that you're just entering string data that is one word only, not separated by spaces, you use the next. And then, of course, there's we can use also oops, sorry. Next in. Okay. So that's the scanner class. No? The scanner class, of course, in this program, we did a combination of an array list to put the data that was entered to the array, no? The array list, no? Of course, no? So we use a string, no? As an input, no? Okay, and then of course we use the scanner class. In order to use the scanner class, no, we have to import it, no? So this is how we import it. It belongs to the collection of Java util, no? Okay, and then this one accept data stream input. That's the system.in. Stream meaning data stream. No? It can be out. That's why we use the system.out. No? Okay. The system.out refers to a data stream. But produce it, it's an output. This one is an input. Do you understand? It's a data stream, however, it's used for input. This one is used for output. So mainly in the terminal. And also the terminal. What terminal? This one. Okay, so this is a terminal. Do you understand, class? And then we have to declare it as it doesn't accept null values. No? Okay. Of course, forgive me. I'm just human. No? I forget. No? Okay. I forget. And that's why we have to declare it as an empty string. This is not null. Because if we just declare it like this one, then this will be a null value. Nothing. Nothing yet. Okay? You have not assigned anything. Okay? So this is a value, an empty string. Okay? So the while loop accepts only string. In this particular example, okay, it's still the same if you're going to enter grades, of course. No? In grades, yeah, you can do that. Of course, you can create an array, but it's going to be fixed. No? So let's say you created an array. So float. Let's say, no? And then this is just going to be 10 elements. No? Okay. So you can use a for loop, or you can use a while loop if you want. No? So this is fixed, no? Because we're talking about an array, not unlike an array list wherein it's dynamic. And then afterwards, you can use another for to generate. It's either a for each or another for loop to, let's say, list out or print out or display the elements that you have entered in the array. Okay, I'm just going to comment this out so that you will know. Huh? Okay, in arrays. Yeah, in arrays, it's just fixed. Wait, in arrays, the number of elements is fixed. Okay. Okay. Any questions with regards to the scanner class input? So again, I'm going to explain this line by line, no, for our review. Okay. Well, we need to import the array list because we're going to use an array list of the string type. No? And then we have to import the scanner class. No? Okay. if we're doing let's say what's this exam? You have not experienced this yet, no? It's called, the exam is, you will take the exam for 2 or 3 hours, no? I forgot the term, no, but it's going to be paid because you will be using the Ninoy Aquino library, no? Okay. That's where the exam will be held, no? Departmental exam. Okay. So if we're talking about departmental exam, you can just do this, no? Import Java util.star. Okay. It means that import everything. However, I'm not recommending this one. Why do you think? This is much easier. This is much easier, no? Because it's only one statement than this one. Okay? But I usually don't do this, no, even on examples, no? Okay? Especially on examples, because you will not know what class I am importing. Okay? But you can do this. Just to give you an idea, okay, I'm going to have this remarked or commented out so that you will know, and it's going to produce the same result. Okay. I forgot the enemies na. Uh, anyway, just going to end it. One more. Okay. One more. One more. Getting more. The same. Okay. So, however, I'm not recommending this one. But why do you think? Why? Class.
Sir,
I'm going to give you a grade of 1 in recitation today, no, if you have. Yes, Kara.
sir, I think that hindi recommended yung paggamit kasi para ay hindi ka po magiging aware sa package na ginagamit mo while coding.
Yeah, I agree. No, I agree. What else? Especially, especially I'm teaching, no? So you have to know what classes I'm using, no? But of course, it's not recommended in let's say it's not recommended in departmental exam because you're doing the exam, no? Time is of the essence, no? So you don't care anymore what to import. Let's say you have to import 15 classes, no? You don't do that anymore. You can just do the import that java.util.star. Okay? But however, this one is much recommended, especially when you're developing, because Lerwin, yes.
Ano sir, if we use kasi sir yung shortcut method in, ayun, importing all packages, classes, and methods in Java, there is a possibility na magka-problema pa tayo when it comes to importing a package. Kasi, the more sir na mas madami tayong nilalagay na the more na mas general yung importation natin ng ayun, ng mga utilities, mas magkakaproblema po tayo dun sa importing ng packages.
Well, when it comes to debugging, it's going to be easier because we're just talking about one line. No? It's going to be easier than, of course, the import statements is above. When you're coding, no? It's always above, no? The program itself. No? Okay. Yes, I agree with you, Lerwin. No? Okay. I agree. What else?
Sir, may I answer po?
Go ahead.
Um, I think rin po kasi if i-import mo yung lahat nung packages, there's a possibility na the functions you define, pwede rin ho siyang mag-interfere or mag-clash dun sa other packages na i-import nyo po. So you should only select yung mga kailangan mo talaga.
It might, but it's a very remote possibility that it will conflict with other packages. But I'm not saying that it will never happen. It might. Takes a lot of time every time the program restarts. Seeing what was this? Takes a lot of time every time the program restarts. Seeing the list of imports can quickly show someone reading the file what is being used. If you import everything, you lose that ability. Yeah, when we talk about maintainability, that's the essence. No? I want you to learn maintainability. No? Okay, that's the essence of what I'm doing. No? I'm painstakingly importing, no, every class because of that. No? Yeah, I agree. What else?
Sir, pwede pong
Sure.
sige
Go
po,
ahead.
sir. So, pag in-import po natin kasi yung parang all classes ng Java, maaari po siyang maka-affect sa compile time ng program natin since kapag kinompile po natin yung isang program, ang gagawin po ng compiler, hanapin niya po yung unidentified objects na hindi naman po nag-exist sa program natin. So, I think po maka-apekto siya to some extent sa compile time po.
Of course, it will greatly affect not compile time but runtime. No? Okay. Yes, time. Vincent and Alex. No? Okay, that's a clue. What else?
Sir,
Go ahead.
ay, si, yep.
Go ahead.
Ako na po ba? Sir,
Oo. Sino na una?
Sino po ba
Julia. Is it John or si Ral? Julia. Sino na una?
Yung mas malakas yung audio. si
Si Jan po,
Ano
sir.
na?
Oo, si John ho ata yun.
Si John.
Ay, sorry.
Okay,
sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Sir, in my opinion po kasi, sir, bukod dun sa runtime, sinasabi ni Alex at ni Vincent, pati po yung resources siguro ng mismong device na you're coding in, it would probably affect that since you are importing a lot of packages and utility from Java, it would affect the resources that you are using.
Very good. That's correct. That is correct. That is why we don't use the star. It's a waste of resource. And
Me, sir,
of course,
question lang po.
yes. Well,
Kasi sir, I've done also a little bit of research. Sabi din dito kasi sir, when we use the star IO, it does not allocate a memory, sir. So I was actually thinking about that din sir earlier, but yun nga sir,
The
na-back up
IO.
din sir.
yeah, Lerwin, the IO is built in. No? Yes, it will not consume because it already consumed space. No? Okay. But of course, when we take a look at java.util, no? Java.util package. Okay. Okay. So this is what you will be importing in java.util from abstract collection up till, I'm too tired to count, no? Weak hash map. Do you see that class? Can you see the listing? Okay. Can you see it? Scanner is there. Okay. So I think that it's more than 20 or 30 classes. Okay. We just want the scanner and then the array list class. Okay. Of course, if we import everything, the star class, no, okay, it will eat up resource. Okay. You get it? The IO, I got it. No. However, it's built in. There's the java.io. It's already loaded. It's already preloaded when it's runtime. Okay, that's why there are some classes that we don't need to import. Okay, doesn't take up space because it already has everything that is loaded. Do you agree with me? Everything that you run will eat up space, resource. Do you agree or disagree? When we run a program, no, especially files, when we talk about file handling, no, when you open up a file, it will you have to have a handler, connection handler, no? Okay, and then you will load that into memory. If you don't properly close that file, so when we do when we discuss file handling, no, I'll teach you how to properly. You have to, when you open a resource, you must close it. No? Especially in database. No? When you open up a connection, you have to disconnect. Okay? You have to close it because it will eat up resource. No? Although there's a garbage collection in Java, automatic, there's a garbage collection. No? But when we talk about C, I don't know about C++. No? I think there's none. No garbage collection. You have to take care of that yourself. No? In Java, there's one. No? But it has what's this? It is automatic, autonomous. Sorry, autonomous. It is autonomous. You can request for the garbage collector to collect garbage, no? But it depends on the mood of the garbage collector. Do you get me? Okay, so it is autonomous. So it's self-checking. It's built in the JVM. So it will run at its own pace. No? Okay? You can request, but of course, it can grant your request at this point in time, or it may not. Okay, so John, very good. Ralph, sino yan? Ralph,
Yes po,
do
sir.
you have the same idea as
Oo
John?
po. Actually po, yung sa resources nga rin po. Kasi, yun nga po, hindi naman po nagagamit lahat. So, parang sayang nga rin po. Same lang po. Thank you po.
Okay. However, thank you. However, John got the as promised. No? Julia, please record. No? Okay. Although, Derwin, you gave inputs, no? Of course, no? I'm taking note of that. No? Okay. I'm taking
Yun
note.
nga sir, kasi nag-try din po ako maghanap ng documentation and yung mga experience na mas expert sa akin. When they analyze yung time complexity and space complexity ng both imports, sabi nila sir, there's no such significant difference when it comes to palitan ng bytes nga no, or yung binary between those things. So, yeah, there might be a significant changes or more consumable resources kapag mas marami tayong in-import na na library. Pero when it comes to siguro sir, hindi siya napapansin kaya siguro hindi kino-considered as ng mga most programmers. Pero if we talk about practicality, tama po kayo sir, meron po talagang significant change na malaki.
Because if we're talking about 1,000 classes, no? Because you're going to use star, no? And it's not just java.util, no? Okay? We're talking about different packages, no? And you're going to learn not just java.util, no? But other packages as well, especially when we're talking about GUI, no? Okay? So there are built-in classes already when you run it's not in compile time, but it's runtime. No? It's JVM. Okay. When we compile, it's just going to convert it to bytecode. No? But the when the program runs, no, that's the time it will eat up resource. That's the time it will consume memory, of course. No? That is why, no, yes, today in today's standards, no, memory is cheap. No problem. No? You can just put star, whatever. No? And if we're talking about departmental exam, when time is the essence, you don't care about importing anything, no? Because the professors, no, they will just, or the one that's checking your answers, no, they will just check if your program will run or not. No? So before in the departmental exam, no, there are 2 grades actually. No? Even when the dean specified that you have to check it. No? And before, no, I am doing that. No? Okay. There's always 1 if it's running or 4 if it's not running. That's it. C or Java, they don't care. No? But of course, the dean mentioned that you have to check. No? You have to check. You have to be balanced. That's why when I'm checking it, I just look at the source code. No? Even when it's not running, I give them a grade. No? So let's say, oh, it's just a syntax error, no? But the logic is there. I'll give you 1.0. Okay? You're not the Java compiler, no? You're not the C compiler. Okay? We're just humans. No? So when I think that the logic is correct, I'm going to give you your grade, no? The possible grade that you can have. If it's departmental exam, of course. Okay? So, most probably we can proceed with, there's one more input that I can discuss, but I think that's for next week. No? What time did we start? 4 o'clock? Yeah. So some of you,
4:30 po lang.
4:30. Okay,
Opo.
4:30. So, 4:30, 5:30. 1.5 hours. No? Okay. Now, it's up to you if you want to continue. No? I know some of your classmates is bored already. No? Just only left the meeting. Okay. And I'm going to follow what was suggested in our what's this faculty meeting before, no? And it's just 1 hour. Actually, I totally agree with Sir Melvin. Okay, if you discuss more than an hour or 3 hours, no, wala na papasok sa inyo eh. No? 1 hour is the optimum. No? Okay, so that's 1 hour. So, are there any more questions or clarifications with regards to our discussion today? I'm not going to send anymore the scratch, no, the if else. No, I'm not going to send it anymore, no, because you know this already. No? Okay, but I'm going to send what we have discussed today, no? Arrays and array list, no? And then of course, array list and input. No? Okay, so questions, clarifications.
Ano na po yung next lesson natin sa next week?
Next lesson is whatever that is on your syllabus. What is our next lesson? I think that's is that classes and objects or not yet? I hope it's going to be classes and objects. I have not opened my syllabus yet. No? Julia, do you have your syllabus open? Or
Sir, kasi po nung sinusunod ko yung IM natin, medyo nag-jump around tayo. Pero we've discussed within lesson 1, 2, and 3.
Mhm.
Apo,
What
yun
should
po.
be the next?
So
Could you
the next one
present
would
it?
be methods.
Methods. No, I'm not going to discuss about methods. I'm going to discuss
Ay,
classes first.
oo nga po pala. You've mentioned that before.
Uh,
Meron din po yung, wait, we've done string and string methods.
I'm going to discuss string. String is different. Okay. It
Mm-mm.
seems like I'm jumping, but I'm not.
Opo, sir. Medyo nasa-shuffle lang po ng onte. Pero
Yeah.
it's still following yung lesson 1, 2,
Yeah.
and 3.
Yes. No?
Yung lesson 3 po
I'm-
kasi it's arrays and strings.
Yeah, I'm discussing what's not included is the array list. No?
Opo, sir.
Because I wanted it discussed, no? Because it's there. No? You can use it, no? And it's the simplest one. No? So there's an alternative for arrays. No? But your exam will be arrays only. No? Your long quiz. It's not an exam, long quiz. No? Okay? So after the discussion from the two classes, I'll set it. No? I'll talk to you representatives later, probably tomorrow, no? On what will be the time that you guys will take it. No? The 3 Java OOP classes that I handle. Okay? It might be a Saturday night or it may be a Saturday afternoon. No? Okay? Or whatever time you want. No? Whatever day or time you want. No? Whatever we have agreed. Okay? Because
Sige
I'm
po, sir.
I'm request. Yeah, go ahead.
Tanong ko lang po, yung long quiz po ba, is it like a programming problem or
It's always going to be programming problem.
ano po yung magiging platform niya? Like, how will we submit po yung code na gagawin namin?
Yeah, I'm going to give you instructions for that. No?
Sige.
So as a representative, you have to collate the .java. It's just going to be one program, and the class name can be your name. No? So let's say you're going to create it in Notepad or whatever, no, and then the program will be your name, Julia Boko. That's going to be, let's say, for example. No? Okay, that's going to be it. No? So it's going to be easier for me to check. No? Okay, because if it's going to be the same name, you will have a hard time collating it. No? It depends.
Sige po,
Okay.
sir. Thank you po.
Please review on multidimensional arrays. It's not going to be simple arrays or one-dimensional array. No? You know, it's kid stuff. No? Okay. I'm not going to do that for you. Masyado ko naman kayo iniinsulto pagka one-dimension array lang yung ating quiz. Okay? Any more questions or clarifications? Okay. So, again, if there are, you might be shy in asking questions, but of course, no. If I'm in the office, no, usually, no, if I'm at home, I usually turn off my camera. Actually, in the previous semesters, no, I usually turn off my camera because siguro nahawa na ako sa estudyante. No? They always turn off their camera. However, I'm surprised at you guys. No? Some of you are turning on your cameras. No? So I'm surprised. No? And I'm happy, no, that you're doing that. No? That's why ako nahiya. No? Okay. And you know, at home, when I'm discussing, okay, I hate to actually. I don't like to. medyo nahiya ako last time. I don't like to turn on the aircon, no, okay, because you know we'll be paying the the aircon in the room, no, that we have is an old one, no. So I'm paying more on electricity, no, than just turning on the electric fan. No? But here it's the office, no. I can full blast the aircon. I'm speaking softly because my boss is there. No? Okay. So anyway, so if you don't have any more questions or clarifications, I hope you learned something today. No? And I'll see you guys next meeting. No? I'll talk with your class representatives with regards to your long quiz. No? Okay, guys, class, thank you very much no, for attending. No?
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you po, sir.
Sir.
Po, sir.
Okay lang po ba screenshot lang po for the attendance?
Oh, sure. No problem.
Thank you po. Little bit pa, screenshot na lang. Thank you.
Sige, sige.
Wow, parang masters, ha?
Sir, can you stop sharing po para makuha po yung buong tile?
Stop sharing. Ay, sure. Stop sharing. Okay.
Ayan. Alright. On my mark, 1, 2, 3.
I hope my face will not appear in the wanted list no, of PUP.
Okay na po, sir.
Okay, guys, thank you. I'll see you next meeting. Bye-bye.
Thank you po,
Yes,
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank you,
po.
sir. Thank you, sir.